In today's episode, I'm bringing you 10 summer fragrance recommendations that I think you should definitely try out for yourself in 2022. These aren't your super predictable ones that everyone else talks about. These are the ones that are going to set you apart, and everyone around you are going to be asking you what you're wearing. I've got a couple of affordable wallet-friendly fragrances to talk about, and a few which are a bit more pricey and at the higher end of the designer price range, so hopefully there's going to be a bit of something for everyone in this episode. If you are on the lookout for a cracking holiday fragrance that's going to give you a massive blast of cool freshness in the summer sun, you've definitely come to the right place. Welcome to Mags Frags. Yes, hello again everybody, and thank you very much once again for tuning into this latest episode of Mags Frags. My name's Paul, and today I'm going to be letting you know which 10 summer fresh fragrances are definitely going to be in my summer rotation for this year of 2022. And if you haven't already tried any of these out for yourself, I would highly recommend that you give them a bit of a test drive at your local fragrance counter the next time that you're out shopping. And if you're also wondering why I'm committing the ultimate fashion faux pas and wearing shades indoors, it's got nothing to do with this being a summer fragrance video or a failed attempt at an old man trying to look cool. It's simply because I've had a large dose of the dreaded man flu over the past few days, and I'm still a little bit bunged up, as you might be able to hear, and I've also got a bit of a migraine, so the last thing I need right now is a 1 million watt video light blaring right directly into my eyes. But back to the review, and like I said in the intro, it's so easy to create a list of all your usual suspects like Bleu de Chanel and Versace, Homme, etc. So my aim for today's video is to bring you some more interesting summer fragrances that maybe you're still yet to discover. And before I start today's rundown, I just want to give a quick honourable mention to a fragrance that would have definitely made it onto this summer list, but due to my own hesitation and not buying it when I sampled it, I don't actually have a physical bottle to show you. But the one that I'm referring to is by Hollister, and it's called SoCal Sunset. And I own the original SoCal, but the Sunset, I'm told, is a bit of a special addition to this one, and it comes in and goes out of stock at the stores very quickly. And I found this out to my detriment last week when I walked out of the store without buying a bottle, and now all my local shops are out of stock. But this one does still look like it's available online, so it's still available to order, and I did place an order for one last night. It's definitely got a resemblance to the original SoCal, with the tropical notes blending with the leather and a hint of spiciness, but I would say the Sunset version is a little bit fruitier and softer smelling than this original one. And there's also lots of pineapple up top, which I really liked, and a bit more sweetness in the dry down from the vanilla and the amber. It's £22 for a 50ml bottle, and if you happen to pass a Hollister store in your next shopping trip, it's well worth popping in and trying this one out for yourself, because it's a great summer pickup. And if they are out of stock, if you haven't tried the original Hollister, this is what the Hollister shops smell like. Very summery, very nice, so yeah, this is another recommendation. Okay, so the first official one that I'm going to talk about today is the latest release from Calvin Klein, and it's the brand new one in the CK1 lineup, and this is called Summer Days. And I picked this 100ml bottle size up from the perfume shop. It was an offer for just £27. The top note in this one is called kumquat, which is a fruit which is native to Southeast Asia, which is like a small oval-shaped orange, with the difference being that you eat the whole fruit, including the peel, because that's where all the flavour is. It's super sweet, but yet also very tart and juicy, and that's exactly what I get from this in the opening. It's extremely fruity with an orangey, sweet and mouth-wateringly juicy accord, and it reminded me a bit of a much more expensive fragrance from Atelier Cologne called Pomelo Paradis, which I reviewed a few months ago, but you probably won't have seen it because it only got about 200 views. However, when I compared them side by side, they do actually smell completely different, but they do share the same kind of addictive sweet fruitiness that just makes you want to keep reapplying it, because the openings of both of these two are just magical. As it dries down, it develops more into a fresh, greener fragrance with iced mint tea in the heart of the scent and white musk and vetiver in the base. It's not the longest lasting fragrance that I've ever worn, and I do wish the fruity orange aroma would stick around for a little bit longer than it does. But it's not bad for the price, and overall an absolutely lovely summer scent, and one of the best in the CK1 lineup in terms of overall smell in my opinion. Okay, so the next one is from Issey Miyake, and this one is called Shade of Lagoon, which is part of the Shades of Paradise collection. This is a fresh, watery, aquatic fragrance with lots of sparkling citrus up top, with lemon and lime being the most dominant notes. There's also a touch of spiciness from the ginger and the cardamom, but for the most part this is an aquatic fragrance with ambroxan and the sea notes producing the slightly salty aquatic vibe that you get also with this. It's an even fresher version of the original Issey Miyake Pour-Homme, so if you do enjoy the scent DNA of this one, you'll also enjoy this. It's a lovely, pleasant summer fresh fragrance, albeit a little bit on the generic side, and the performance isn't the best, but it's not terrible either, which is probably going to be the case with a high percentage of most of these fresh fragrances that feature in today's video. The reason that this one made it into the list though is that because you can now pick it up for just £22 from the ESSENTUAL website, and if you buy it with one of their regular 25% off deals, you end up paying around about £15 for it, which is an absolute great buy if you're on a bit of a budget. It's just a simple, no-nonsense, fresh summer scent that will definitely get the job done, and it'll get you a few compliments along the way. Okay, so next up is one of the highlights of 2022 for me, and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it when it was first announced late last year and finally arrived at my doorstep at the end of February. This one is Le Beau Parfum from Jean-Paul Gaultier, and it's an improved and slightly more intense flanker of the original Eau de Toilette version. It still centres around a tropical fruity coconut aroma, but there's also amber, sandalwood and ambergris in the base, which improves the performance and also brings a touch more depth. I absolutely love how this one smells, and nothing says holidaying on a beach of a paradise island more than this does. It's summertime in a bottle, and please don't listen to anyone who slates this scent because they either haven't smelled it or they just don't know what they're talking about. It's a brilliant summer scent and totally well worth blind buying. Okay, so this next one is one of the more pricier ones on the list, but you can actually pick it up for a decent price if you shop around. This is Mancera's Lemon Line, which I picked up from the All Beauty website, and I think I paid around about £70 for it, but it normally retails at around about £120 mark for this 125ml bottle size. This is just the ultimate in lemony freshness, and it pretty much doesn't do much else. It's fairly sweet with an eye-wateringly fizzy lemon note, which always reminds me of like sherbet lemon sweets. It's super fresh and clean, with a really uplifting and effervescent scent profile, but you are going to get the haters that say it's like smells a little bit like a toilet cleaner just because of that dominant lemon accord. This is one that I break out on the hottest of summer days, which isn't that often here in the UK, unfortunately. But if you are about to jet off on a summer holiday to a tropical island or some tropical heat at least, then you aren't going to get much more refreshing than this one. It wakes you up and it just lifts your mood from the second that you spray it. It's box fresh and it's just beautiful. So I would highly recommend that you give this one a go. Okay, so the next one is more of a wild card summer fragrance because it's not your typical out and out citrus or aquatic scent, and it's not a fresh fragrance in any way. However, it definitely has a summer holiday in the Mediterranean feel about it, and the fragrance that I'm referring to is 1 Million Parfum by Paco Rabanne. This came out in 2020 and it's without doubt my favourite from the 1 Million lineup. It's a leather dominant scent, but it also contains ambergris, salt and solar notes, which produce like a suntan lotion kind of aroma that runs alongside the leather accord. I don't have another scent in my collection that smells remotely similar to this, and it's a very unique smelling fragrance. And every time I smell it, it just reminds me of being on holiday in Spain and going in these certain shops that only sell like leather products, like belts and jackets, handbags, and even pretty naff gifts that are just made out of leather. But when you're in there, everyone else in the shop as well have like covered themselves in like Factor 50 suntan lotion, and the whole experience is kind of captured in this fragrance. And like I say, it's a moment in time rather than being your obvious summer fresh scent, and as soon as you smell it, you are going to get that summer holiday feeling. And as for performance, this is nothing short of a total monster with huge projection, and it will last literally as long as you stay unshowered. It would last, I'd say it'd last a week on fabric easily, so definitely go easier on the trigger, because I would say it could get quite annoying if you decide to go a bit heavy on the sprayer, especially in the high heat. This for me is more of a summer evening scent when the temperature's dropped and you're heading out for a holiday night out. It's a great, unique smelling fragrance, and it's one that grows on you the more and more every time that you wear it. Okay, this next one came out in 2020, and it's the most recent release from the Polo line of fragrances from Ralph Lauren. This is called Deep Blue Parfum, and as you can see from the huge dent that I've made in the bottle, that this is one of my go-to summer scents. The top notes in this are green mango, grapefruit and bergamot. In the heart there's cypress, clary sage and geranium, and in the base there's sea notes, ambroxan, fir resin, patchouli and musk. This is a salty, fresh, aquatic fragrance that's in a similar kind of ballpark to the likes of Profondo from the Acqua di Gio line, or this one by Azzaro, which is the Chrome Aqua. But I think there's enough of a difference for it not to be a redundant purchase if you were to own either of those two. It's a very crisp and clean smelling scent with a blast of citrus up top, but unfortunately I don't really get much of the mango that's listed as a top note, but maybe it's just in there just to sweeten things up ever so slightly and just take the edge off the tart citruses. As it dries down, it's the sea notes and the ambroxan, the most dominant notes, and you get like a salty marine type accord, which I'd say is fairly generic smelling, but still very, very enjoyable all the same. The performance is pretty decent for a fresh blue scent, and I'd say that if you can pick this up with a little bit of a discount, it's a really safe blind buy as a summer fragrance. However, if you're a collector and you own plenty of other aquatic fragrances, then this may be not unique enough for you to get too excited about. At number 7 on the list is another one that leans on, I would say, on the pricier side, but if you're looking for something a little bit more daring and different this summer, then look no further than Tom Ford's Eau de Soleil Blanc, but this is the Eau de Toilette version, which is a lighter, fresher take of the EDP version from a couple of years earlier. This opens up with lots of citruses, including bitter orange, citron and bergamot, but pretty quickly you get lots of coconut coming through, and this is joined by the tuberose and plenty of white florals, especially the neroli, and this produces a fairly creamy, clean smell that you kind of find in a coconut scented shower cream or even some suntan lotions, but I don't want to disrespect it by saying that, because this is a little bit more complex than just that. It's a quirky twist on a summer fragrance because apart from the first 5 minutes, it's not actually all that fresh, and once the vanilla and the amber come through from the base, it is actually quite sweet without becoming overly sweet. It's what I describe as a classy, expensive smelling take on a summer fragrance, and when you catch a waft of somebody wearing it, you know it's not just a generic designer scent from the local discounters. I'd say this one ever so slightly leans feminine, so you're going to need to be a bit of a confident guy to pull it off, but if you are looking for something a little bit different and a little bit edgy for the warmer months of the year, then I would say this is a very interesting option and one to try out for yourself. It's not a safe blind buy, so I'd recommend getting a sample of it, or at least getting down to your nearest Tom Ford counter and testing it out before you're handing over your credit card details. Okay, so the 8th one that I'm going to talk about is one that you can now pick up at discounters for a real good bargain basement price of around about 26 quid for a 100ml bottle size. This is Reflecto Blue Vibe from the Italian fashion brand Trusade. This is a fresh blue fragrance with a lot of interesting twists. For starters, it has a boozy rum note up top, with also a bright citrus aroma coming from the yuzu, and then a green herbal accord from the Davana. And it's a bit of a strange cocktail to kind of get your head around at first, whilst you're trying to make sense of all what's going on. But it is quite interesting, and it does make you want to keep going in for another sniff. As it dries down, you get some nuttiness from the hazelnut, but it's the amberwood resin which is the most dominant, and this is what brings the blue vibe to the composition. And it's this particular note that's like the key note in so many likeable blue fragrances like Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, Bleu de Chanel Parfum, and the Y line of fragrances from Yves Saint Laurent. It's a really great solid cheapie. I'm really impressed with the high quality presentation of the bottle, right the way through to the unique smelling scent that's inside. I don't think I would have paid the original full retail price of around about £80 for it, but for under £30 it's a pretty safe blind buy, and I can't see many people disliking this one. Okay, so the penultimate one in today's list is a very underrated one in my opinion, and this is Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Sport. This is a versatile, classy and sophisticated summer fresh fragrance with a unique blend of aquatic and woody notes. It centres around the famous almond note, as is the case with all the fragrances in this line, but this one takes you off into a much cleaner and fresher direction. You do get a reminder of the original EDT version when you first spray it, with that almond note coming straight out at you, but it's also accompanied by the neroli and the watery notes, which bring out like a clean soapy freshness. And I must admit, I was one of those fellas that had got used to how gorgeous the original and the EDP flankers smelled, and I couldn't quite get my head around this one at first, with the smooth creamy almond conflicting with the aquatic notes and the neroli, but I did persist with it. And if you wear it at the right time, if you wear it like at the right time of the year, should I say, so I would say between late spring and early summer, when it's still fairly cool outside, it's absolutely lovely. It's such a stylish and elegant take on a fresh fragrance, and like I said before, it's unfairly underrated in my opinion, which is mainly due to the fact that it had just so much to live up to compared to the very popular releases that came before it. It's unique, versatile and mass appealing, and you can pick this 100ml bottle size up for around about £50 if you shop around, which is a steal for such a high class fragrance. And finally, I've saved my number one go-to summer scent until last. I've been wearing this one since 2017, and as soon as there's the first sign of any sunshine outside, I pretty much go into autopilot and gravitate straight towards it. This one is Dior Homme Sport, and this particular bottle is the 2017 version, which contains the blood orange note. But there's also a 2011 version and a brand new 2021 version, which both contain totally different notes. The top notes in this particular one are blood orange, grapefruit, lemon and pear. In the mid there's pink pepper, nutmeg and geranium, and in the base there's sandalwood and vetiver. So I'll begin by saying that this is nothing like Dior Homme or Dior Homme Intense, and doesn't contain the note of iris. It still does, however, manage to produce a fairly powdery dry down, but it's not the major player in this one. And what you get in here is a beautifully juicy fresh fragrance with lots of fruitiness. The blood orange, grapefruit and lemon bring lots of bitter tart citrus, but the pear takes away the sharp edges and just sweetens everything up just enough to produce a scent that makes you wish that you could drink it. It's super clean and refreshing on a hot day, and it's about as mass appealing as you're ever likely to get. It is my number one fragrance to wear on a hot day, and also as a gym fragrance, and it has been for the past few years now. I actually keep meaning to pick up the brand new 2021 version, but something always crops up and stops me from pulling the trigger on it, but I will definitely buy it over the next coming weeks. If you want the ultimate all-round summer scent, you can't really look much further than this one. It's an absolute belter. Okay, so once again, that's about it for this year's summer fragrance recommendations, and I'm not going to lie, that was quite difficult, feeling so groggy, so I'm hoping to get nominated for one of next year's Oscars with that performance. But I hope there's been one of these fragrances that are featured in today's list that have inspired you to maybe go out and try for yourself. This video isn't sponsored by any brand or any fragrance outlet, and I don't get paid a single penny for recommending any of these fragrances that are featured today, so you can be confident that these have been my choices and my own opinions, and I'm not being told what to say in return for any financial reward. All I ask is that if you found the content useful, then please give the video a thumbs up and to subscribe to the channel. I would really like to hit the 10k subscriber mark by the end of the year if possible, so please hit that red button, and if you've already subscribed, thank you very much and welcome to our small but perfectly formed Mags Frags community. So once again, thank you very much once again for tuning in to today's episode. Stay safe, keep smelling fresh, and I'll see you very soon for my next episode, where I'll be talking about my most recent haul from the Essence Vault. So look out for that one, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye for now.